I'm more likely to win if the dealer busts with a 6 showing than by hitting and risking busting from 17.
I have only 5, so there's no card that can bust me, and standing on 5 would almost certainly lose. I have only 12, so I can't bust, and the dealer's 6 gives them a high likelihood of busting if I improve my hand first. I have a 20, which beats the dealer in most scenarios, and the dealer is likely to bust with a 6 showing.
I am likely to bust if I hit.
I stand because the dealer has a high likelihood of busting with a 6 up card, around 42%, while my hard 18 has good odds to win outright.
I'm very likely already ahead with 20, and hitting is likely to bust.
I have hard 16 against a dealer 7, and the dealer will likely make a hand of 17 or better, so I must improve despite the risk of busting.
I am unlikely to bust and likely to improve my hand. I am likely to bust if I hit.
I have a high likelihood of busting only if I draw a 10 value card, about 4 in 13 odds, while the dealer, with a 7 up card, has a strong chance of ending up with 17 to 21. I estimate a high likelihood of improving my hand without busting immediately against the dealer's strong up card.
I'm more likely to improve 13 safely than to win by standing, while the dealer can reach 17 plus from a 2. I'm already very likely to win with 19 against a dealer 2, and hitting is more likely to bust than improve my outcome.
I have a 19, which wins against most dealer outcomes, and hitting risks busting with an 85% chance since only aces, 2s, or 3s keep me alive.
I am unlikely to bust and likely to improve my hand. I am unlikely to improve my hand without busting.
With a hard 14 against dealer 2, there's a high likelihood of the dealer busting if I stand, but my odds of improving without busting are favorable enough to hit. Explanation: the reasoning process evaluates the blackjack game state by first identifying the player's hard 14, 4s plus 10.
I'm more likely to improve from 10 without busting than to win by standing against an ace. I'm more likely to improve from 12 than to bust, and the dealer showing an ace is likely to reach a strong total. I'm already at 21, so hitting is overwhelmingly likely to bust and lose immediately.
I have a 20, and hitting risks busting 92% of the time, while my strong hand already has good winning odds.
I am unlikely to improve my hand without busting.
With a hard 9 against an ace, there's a high likelihood of busting if I stand while the dealer has strong odds of making 17 or better. I stand because with soft 20 against the dealer's ace, the odds of improving my hand without busting are outweighed by the high likelihood of the dealer busting or making a weaker total.
I'm more likely to lose by drawing a card from 18 than to improve enough to beat the dealer's 8 without busting.
I have hard 15 against dealer's 8, and the dealer is more likely to make a strong hand than I am to bust, so I need to improve my total. I have a 19, which wins against most dealer outcomes, and hitting risks busting 81% of the time.
I am unlikely to bust and have a low hand.
With soft 18 against dealer 8, There's a high likelihood of improving without busting, due to the ace. I have a low likelihood of busting with a hard 12 against the dealer's strong 8 up card, while standing gives the dealer high odds of making 17 to 21. Explanation. The reasoning process evaluates the game state by first calculating the player's total as 12, ace counted as 1.
I'm very unlikely to bust on an 8 and more likely to improve enough to beat a dealer 7. I'm more likely to lose by busting if I hit than to improve enough to beat the dealer's likely 17 to 21.
I already have BlackJack.
I am unlikely to bust and have a low hand. I have 21, so I cannot improve my hand.
I have a high likelihood of improving my hand from 9 without busting against the dealer's strong 7 up card. I stand because with hard 19 against a dealer 7, the odds of busting if I hit outweigh the likelihood of the dealer busting.
I'm more likely to lose by busting if I hit than to improve enough to beat the dealer.
I have only 9, so it's impossible to bust, and the dealer's 3 gives them a high likelihood of busting or making a weak hand. I have only a 14 against the dealer's 3, so I'm more likely to improve my hand than bust, and standing on 14 loses most of the time. I have hard 15 against a dealer 3, and the dealer is more likely to make a hand than bust, so I need to improve my total. I have 20, which wins against most dealer outcomes, and hitting risks busting with over 50% probability on any card, 2 or higher.
I am unlikely to improve my hand without busting.
I stand because with my hard 18 against the dealer's 3, the odds favor standing as the dealer has a high likelihood of busting.
I'm more likely to lose by busting if I hit than to improve enough to beat the dealer.
I have a 20, which wins against most dealer outcomes, and hitting risks busting with an 85% chance.
I am unlikely to bust and likely to improve my hand. I am likely to bust if I hit.
With soft 13 against dealer 2, the odds favor hitting as busting is impossible, and it improves my total against dealer's likely strong hand. With soft 19 against dealer 2, there's a high likelihood of improving without busting due to the ace's flexibility. Explanation. The reasoning process evaluates the game state. Player's hand totals soft 19, ace plus 2 plus 6, where ace counts as 11, dealer's up card. I have a high likelihood of busting if the dealer makes 17 or more from their 2 up card, but standing gives them over 70% odds to beat my 15. With a hard 18 against the dealer's 2, there's a high likelihood the dealer will bust or make a weak hand I can beat.
Now let's see how our models did after 57 hands. It looks like ChatGPT and Grok remained positive, while Claude and Gemini went negative, but they all stayed relatively close to their starting balance. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.